Welcome back. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back on my channel, guys. Versatility Podcast. This is going to be a video. I'm going to be making my NBA predictions for the NBA regular season. So, the season started off last Tuesday. It's Sunday night now. Of course, all teams have played at least 2 or 3 games up until this point. And of course, we're still very early in the season. Whoever won, whoever lost at this point still has nothing to be known for the season that just started. So of course, it's definitely not too late to be making my season predictions. Even though obviously most people have already done it already at this point. But anyways, let's just get straight to it. Let's get straight to it. I'm gonna be making a tier list. I'm making exactly a tier list of the teams that I believe are going to be superior. Um, and just ranking them, just ranking them. I think I'm going to change it up. So I think I'm going to do like the top four in the East, and then the next four, and then 5 to 8 in the East, and then et cetera, et cetera. So I'm gonna like just change it up a bit. Top four in the West, and then 5 to 8 in the West as well. And then we got the teams that are in the play-in, who I think are going to make the play-in, and then playoffs, or just no playoffs. Just it ain't gonna happen this year. Sorry, buddy. So let's start off with the Milwaukee Bucks as the first team that we got here. Milwaukee Bucks. Excuse me. Top four in the East. Do I really have to elaborate much on why the East is going to be running through Milwaukee this season? Fuck top four. They might be top one. They might win this whole motherfucking Eastern Conference. Did you not see who they just acquired just like a month ago? Dame fucking Lillard. Now the timing of it right now, because I just checked on Twitter and he just had a pretty bad game. This was his second game with the Bucks, and he went off in his first game against, I believe, the Sixers, and that was on Thursday night. And then of course he had his second game today. Against who did they play against today? The Bucks. Whoever they played against, or let me just check it real quick. He only scored 6 points today, which was against the Hawks. They lost to the Bucks. Lost to the Hawks, 127 to 110, and Dame only had 6 points. So rough night for Dame. Shit, bro. Wow, he had four. He had a triple single, dude. My goodness, he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Yeah, not the best game for Dame Daly, but whatever the timing, who gives a fuck? It's one bad game. It is what it is. The Milwaukee Bucks, man, they're a deep team, man. They have shooters all around. They just got the second best point guard in the fucking NBA. He would be the best if Steph Curry didn't goddamn exist. And they have a top 2 player in the entire NBA, the second best player in the league, in my opinion, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This Bucks team is deep all around, like I just said it. And with those two guys, you're gonna have pedigree to win a championship. There's of course there's gonna be title contenders, and if they don't win a championship this year, or at least win the East, Boston will have to give them trouble, and they're going to be the best team to give them trouble. But we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe Miami, because usually Miami is a team that always eliminates the Bucks in the playoffs. So we'll talk about Miami in a minute, though. Next, we got the Brooklyn Nets. You see, the Brooklyn Nets, I think, are going to be a good team. But right now, I'm probably going to put them on the borderline for the playoffs. So I'm going to put them in the play-in. Milwaukee, again, we know that they're top tier team, right? Brooklyn is just right in the fucking middle. They don't really have much players on that rotation, or in the rotation on that roster that just are gonna really put up crazy numbers. Just look at the roster. Let me just look at the Nets roster. Like, who are their best guys that they really got? Obviously, Kyrie Irving's not on the fucking Nets anymore, so that's just incorrect. Let's just put it right now. the current roster for the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, Mikal Bridges, you know what? Guaranteed bucket. He's going to be good there. Spencer Dinwiddie has been fine. Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. And I don't mean that in a good way. Nick Claxton could be serviceable, and he's been all right. Actually, no, Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas has been a bucket as well, so I can't talk shit about Cam Thomas. He's been a bucket. Looney Walker, the fourth, also has been pretty. He can be pretty serviceable. He can do well coming off the bench as well. Their power forward, their starting power forward is, I believe, Dorian Smith. Yeah. I mean, this Brooklyn Nets team is a solid team. They have some young guys, and they're not a terrible team. And also Cam Johnson's also pretty good too. But playoff team, they're just kind of young to me, and there's just not much to look into. I mean, they could definitely make a push for some, but I'm not sure. Next, we got the New York Knicks, and with the Knicks, I do believe they're going to be at least a top. Yeah, you know what? They're going to probably be the fourth best team in the East. I mean, it's Milwaukee, New York, in that top four realm. The Knicks are deep. I mean, just look at the roster right over here. I mean, let me just kind of, I'm gonna be going over like the rosters and this and that just so we can like go over it. Obviously with guys like R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, those guys have been great for Brooklyn. I mean for New York. Emmanuel Quickley, if he can get his shit up and play a lot better defensively, they might be, really, really good. Mitchell Robinson is just there. Julius Randle, I mean, he's really good in the regular season. In the postseason, when it matters, he just stinks. But maybe he could change that up at some point. Evan Fournier has actually been solid. Josh Hart's a good player. I don't know much about Charlie Brown. DiVincenzo, he's been pretty good as well. They got a lot of guys from fucking Villanova. I mean, they got the whole squad that won the 2018 title. Jesus, man. Brunson, DiVincenzo. But Brunson is that guy, man. Brunson is that guy to really lead this team. He's been fucking fantastic with this Knicks team. So the Knicks are expected to be a high contending team in the East for sure. So I got to put them in the top four in the East. Next, we got the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, the Raptors are not the Raptors. They're not the greatest of teams. So yeah, there's not much to expect with that roster. I mean, they got OG Anunoby. They got, of course, Siakam, Scotty Barnes. In his second season, had a pretty good rookie season last year. Grady Dick might be a guy that might be in rookie of the year conversations. Maybe. Jalen McDaniels has been pretty good as well with this team. Dennis Schroeder, let me see what he could do with here in Toronto. Thaddeus Young, not that young anymore. Gary Trent Jr. I don't know. I mean, he was pretty good. I don't really know what to expect from him this year, but he was a pretty solid player these past couple years. Achua could be one of those powered forwards that they can need off the bench as well. Or I believe, yeah, Chris Boucher is their starting power forward, as you can see here. And then Van Fleet. Where's Van Fleet? I'm so dumb. Isn't Van Fleet with the Rockets now? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? He's with the Rockets now? I believe he's with the Rockets. I'm gonna look dumb if he's not with the Rockets. Fred Van Fleet? Yes, he's with the Rockets. Yeah, just totally just got a little confused. Still fucking thought he was still with the Raptors. But yeah, the Raptors, they're a solid team, but are they really going to be competing for superior team? Oop, my bad. Are they really going to be contending for one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference? They could push in for the play-in. But not much to expect. The Utah Jazz. Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz, I mean, they have some guys, man. Of course, we know, man. This Utah Jazz team is kind of going through a rebuilding phase. Colin Sexton has been, good. Jordan Clarkson, Taylor Horn Tucker has been pretty good. Larry Markkinen, he had a breakout year last year. He was pretty good, but not much to expect from the Jazz this year. They're not really going to be a title contending team. They're just kind of be all over the place. Honestly, right now, I'm not really expecting a playoff push for the Jazz. Yeah. Same with the next team, the Houston Rockets. Yeah, man, they're a rebuilding team. They're still looking for pieces to build off of. They're just a bunch of young guys. They got some good players. I mean, of course, shouting out to Dylan Brooks. Yeah, I'm not shouting out Dylan Brooks. He's not one of the guys that are, you know, to mention on this roster for the Rockets. But I mean, Jalen Green, of course, that is, he was pretty good last season. Victor Oladipo has been good. Jayshawn Tate was really good last season, and he was, he's been productive since. Fred VanVleet, he's going to be that guy, that their starting point guard, for the meantime, or for the most part, excuse me, not for the meantime, but yeah, it's not crazy roster. They're not really loaded from down, from up and down. So yeah, not really much to expect for the Houston Rockets. So yeah, I don't really expect them making a playoff push. Next we got the New Orleans Pelicans. I think the Pelicans should definitely be around that 5 to 8 range in the West. With Zion healthy this season, which we can all hope that Zion stays healthy, this team could honestly push for a top 4 team in the Western Conference. This team is deadly all around with obviously not just Zion, but we got other good pieces that I could show you obviously right here. I mean, this team, when healthy, could really do some damage. Of course, you got the fucking GTA, GTA Alvarado, of course. He's, that guy, right? CJ McCollum, of course. Larry Nance Jr., who's been all right. Brandon Ingram, of course. We know Brandon Ingram is that guy. With Zion healthy, they can really do some damage here. And Herbert Jones is actually pretty solid as well. So, everyone healthy, or for the most part, Zion healthy, they can do some damage. Next, we got the LA Lakers. Lakers, they're a top 4 team in the West. They should be a top 4 team in the West. They have the roster. They have great guys. They have talented ass players. But LeBron and AD are not going to be the only ones doing the most damage because let's be honest, this is LeBron's 21st season as we've heard it a fucking million times already. So LeBron's not going to be he's not going to be, he can't be carrying this goddamn roster. He can't be carrying this team, which he shouldn't be because they have got a lot of young pieces here. With Hachimura, with obviously Austin Reeves, with Tyron Prince, who's also been pretty good, solid. D'Lo, Cam Reddish, who they just acquired, Gabe Vincent from the Miami Heat. Christian Wood has been amazing. Jared Vanderbilt also looks promising and looks pretty good to go. Jackson Hayes, he looks great. Good, not great. We'll see what we can hear from Max Christie. Don't know much about him yet, but we'll see what he can do with this team. He's a rookie, I believe. AD, can he stay healthy? It's kind of like a lot to ask for, but my goodness. I mean, the fact that LeBron and AD are literally 30 and 38, and everybody on that team is less than 29 years old or 29 or younger. I mean, the 2 older players on this team are obviously the better players on the roster, but of course the youth here, they have the veterans they have, but they got to stay healthy, man. This Lakers team can take down some of the best teams in the NBA. They'll have to figure out a way to size up with the Nuggets because the Nuggets are definitely their fathers at the moment. They got swept and they lost on opening night, so there's still much to be held for the Lakers. But if they could stay healthy for the most part, this team is going to do some damage. I mean, the Lakers are going to be definitely a title contending team, but they just got to knock down all the teams coming their way. They can knock down most teams, but there's some teams in front of them right now that just have their card at the moment. Next, we got the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls, low key, I might put them in the 5 to 8. I'll put them in the play-in. I think right now I'm put them in the play-in just to kind of play it safe. The Bulls roster, let me see the roster. I mean, they got obviously Caruso. They got, Lonzo Ball, he's not going to be playing because he's hurt, so that's unfortunate. Zach LaVine, of course, is going to be great, as expected. Javon Carter just all right there. Corey Craig, low-key looking pretty solid. Kobe White might be, pretty good. Nikola Vucevic. Patrick Williams, I mean, he hasn't really done much, but yeah, this Bulls team is good. DeMar DeRozan, of course, to not forget to mention. Ayo, who's low-key a bucket as well. Yeah, this Bulls team is a pretty solid team, and they could do some damage, but play-in team. They're not one of the superior teams in the Eastern Conference, and if they make the playoffs, they're definitely sneaking in if they can. Next, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves right now are also in the 5 to 8 range, just like the Pelicans in the West. They're kind of just a team lingering there. I mean, the Timberwolves, I mean, of course, they got Cat, Karl-Anthony Towns. They got some pretty young guys. What the fuck did I just say? Pause on that. They have some pretty talented guys there. Kyle Anderson, not really to mention. Of course, we have to talk about fucking Anthony Edwards because my goodness, if he stays healthy, well, he doesn't really have an injury problem as much, but of course, not to knock on wood or anything, but if he still, of course, stays healthy, he's gonna be fucking he's gonna be fucking averaging 30 pretty much this season, 28, 29. He's a walking bucket. He's a fucking living walking bucket. Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, great duo in the NBA. They're a good team, and they have some depth with Shake Milton. They have depth, of course, with Mike Conley as well. Rudy Gobert, I think, is pretty fucking overrated, but I mean, he's still good enough to be giving him some credibility, even though I don't really give a shit about too much about Rudy Gobert. This Timberwolves looks like a promising team. For sure. They could do some damage in the playoffs. I don't think they're a play-in team. I think they low-key could just get straight into the playoffs. They look a pretty good team. Next, you got the Portland Trailblazers. Yep, y'all lost Dame. And y'all are just starting from the bottom, just like Drake did, right? It's not much to expect for the Wolves, the Blazers this year. Scoot Henderson, maybe for Rookie of the Year. We'll see. DeAndre Ayton, I mean, he could have a good year as well with this team. Jeremy Grant could do something. Oh, damn, I forgot Thibault is with the Blazers now. Robert Williams is too. Yeah, a bunch of young guys. And, I mean, their oldest player is, 29 or 30? Malcolm Brogdon is 30, and that's the oldest guy that they got on the roster. So not much leadership on they got here, but without Dame, what are they expecting? I mean, they still haven't even won a game yet this season. So Blazers, yeah, it's gonna be a tough season for Portland. Next, we got the Denver Nuggets. I mean, do I even gotta say anything? They're easily right now the best team in the NBA. Why? They just won the goddamn NBA championship. So of course they're the best team in the NBA. Who the fuck is stopping Jokic? Who the fuck is stopping Jamal Murray? Who is stopping this Denver Nuggets team? Jokic is a god. My goodness. He takes basketball like 40% seriously. And he's still cooking motherfuckers, man. He's still cooking. DeAndre Jordan. Low-key coming back. Low-key might be productive this year. We'll see. Michael Porter Jr. never passes, but he's a guaranteed bucket as well. Jamal Murray, like I said, another bucket. If he stays healthy, of course, dangerous. Aaron Gordon, shout out to Aaron Gordon. Man, he's gonna be great. Reggie Jackson, also pretty good as well. Christian Braun came out of nowhere and he's been fucking good. This team is to worry about. They definitely have a really good chance to repeat this year, man. They really do. They really do. I honestly think the Nuggets, there's not that many teams that can match up with them well. Lakers, if y'all really want to take down this Nuggets team, it's oof. You're going to have to fucking watch out. Next, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder, they're in the play-in tournament. I see them kind of marching in. I see them lurking in. I like it. I like their chances. The Thunder, let's look at their roster. I mean, not much to expect from the Thunder, but they have some really good guys. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has emerged himself as like a top 10, top at least 15 player in the NBA. So, of course, he's going to get all the love. Chet Holmgren hopefully stays healthy this year. This is this rookie year, but this should technically be his second season. But obviously, he was hurt last year for the whole season. So, hopefully, he should have a breakout rookie year. Trey Mann's a bucket, as well as Dort. Defensively, he's a beast. Bertans, Josh Giddey. They should be some reliable pieces, of course, for the Thunder. This this could be a sneaky team for the play-in and maybe even to catch in the playoffs. I would love to see the Thunder in the playoffs. This is just a young, youthful team. They have 705 fucking draft picks coming up in the next 5 years, 10 years. You know, they're already getting the best player in fourth grade right now in the class of fucking 2029 or whatever. But they're, you know, this team is looking promising. And right now, you know, they might be having, they're having a fun time. They're having a youthful, fun time. Not much to expect with the Thunder. If they don't make the playoffs, it's not going to be that disappointing. But also to see their growth, it's you know, it's going to be nice to watch. Next, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant, if he can get his shit together and ball the fuck out, they're a top 4 team in the West. They're a top 4 team in the West. And I say that when there's still like 2 or 3 more teams I can put in that top 4 category. Phoenix, Golden State, Clippers. Spoiler alert. There's still teams I can put in that top 4 West. But if the Grizzlies, especially Ja Morant, can get his shit together, focus on just playing basketball, not trying to ruin his fucking career, not trying to get in trouble, just stick to playing ball and staying out of trouble, figuring his shit out. This team could do this team can do some damage. Because they have a great team. Not just Ja Morant. They got Jaren Jackson, who's always up there for Defensive Player of the Year candidacy. Desmond Bane has been good. Brandon Clark is good. Steven Adams is still pretty good. Luke Kennard is there. Derrick Rose, you know, not the Derrick Rose of old, the Derrick Rose, but he's still there, and he can have a good game any moment. Marcus Smart for the defensive end, you know, like this team is pretty good, and I feel like I have high hopes on the Grizzlies if they can get their shit together. But unfortunately, that's when Ja Morant comes back, because of course Ja Morant is still, you know, serving his suspension. I believe it's a 25-game suspension, and they still haven't won a game yet. But whatever. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe next season I should be a little bit more higher the Grizzlies. You know what? I'll put the Grizzlies in the 5 to 8. Come on, I can't put them next to like Phoenix and shit. Like I'm gonna have to hold my horses on Memphis, but I do want them to be at least a competent team in the playoffs, or at least in the Western Conference, so they can make the playoffs. We'll see. A team that I do want in the playoffs, but I'm having troubles really deciding, is the Dallas Mavericks. I have them in the play-in at the moment. I mean, defensively, they're a mess. They're a mess, dude. They're a mess. They're kind of all over the place, dude. But they got Luka, they got Kyrie Irving, you know? So they're offensively they're gonna, you know, Luka, I mean, my goodness. I mean, fucking Jesus, dude. What can Luka not do, bro? What can he not fucking do? It's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. So I think the Mavericks are going to have a pretty good season this year. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the West. But if they can figure things out defensively, maybe this team is going to be really, really good. But right now, I probably have them in the play-in. I kind of want to put them in that 5 to 8 range. But there's a couple teams I still want to take out. Next, you got the Spurs. The Spurs are not expected to be a great team this year, but they got Victor Wembanyama. So he should have a great rookie year. Man, this dude is absolutely insane. He's only played 2 games, and in the preseason he looked phenomenal. My goodness, this dude it's Victor Wembanyama. This is his season. Nobody else really matters much. Shout out to Zach Collins. Shout out to Devontae Graham. Shout out to Jeremy Sochan, Devin Vessel, Charles Barkley, Charles Basley, I guess, or Bassey. But this is Wembanyama's year to show the fucking world who he's all about, you know. But that said, they're not looking for the playoffs this year, so you know, don't expect much on the Spurs. So yeah, no playoffs. Phoenix Suns. I mean, they have to. I mean, they have to. They have KD, they have Devin Booker, and they have fucking Bradley Beal. And even though Bradley Beal hasn't played a game yet, and Booker has been injured, he played it. He had a good game in game one. In the first game of the season, he scored like 39 points, but he's missed the last two games. KD though, he scored 26 points yesterday, and he had a pretty good game against the Lakers, even though they lost that game by 5 points. Yeah, KD, D Book, and Bradley Beal, and then the menace to society of Grayson Allen. I mean, come on, this team should fucking absolutely tear the league down. And Eric Gordon also, still knocking down threes. This team is going to be deadly. This team is going to be phenomenal to watch. Prime time Phoenix Suns, but they got to get their shit together in the postseason because they do like to choke games. So, but in the regular season they should be very good. Next we got the LA Clippers. They should be a 5 to 8 range, at least in the Western Conference. Excuse me, give me a second. Anyways, back on the Clippers. Clippers, yeah, they're gonna be in the 5 to 8 range. Not expecting much on the rest of the rest of the roster. Um, Kawhi, PG, all they got to do is stay healthy, and this team is gonna be deadly in the playoffs. We'll see. Russell Westbrook, I'm expecting him to play really good this year. I mean, he wasn't that good with the Lakers, but so far he's looked pretty solid with the Clippers, and low key, might do some damage. Yeah, I mean, things could change with this team, but Kawhi, Terrence Mann though, I mean, if he could go back to that Terrence Mann that he was in the playoffs 2 years ago, man, this team is going to be really scary to look out. So yeah, PG, Kawhi, they're the teams, they're the player, to lead this team. So, and Russell Westbrook, you're that veteran that they will, that they have to rely on for certain situations. Maybe not to shoot the ball, but they will need it for different situations. So yeah, give me the Clippers to be in that 5 to 8 range in the West. Next, you got the Golden State Warriors, and they're going to be another top tier team in the Western Conference. Steph Curry, he's not going to just play trash. Steph Curry is Steph Curry, dude. He's going to be Steph fucking Curry. That's all I got to say. Kevin Looney, been solid. Chris Paul, we'll see what Chris Paul does in his first season in excuse me, in Golden State. Draymond Green should be, Draymond Green. Klay Thompson, if he needs to have a good season, he hasn't been the same Klay Thompson, but if he can get back to that old Klay Thompson, my goodness, this team's going to be fucking absolutely ridiculous. And people are saying, hey, this team, their dynasty run is dying down. It's not. After losing to the Lakers last year in the second round, it's just not hitting. This Warriors team is depleted. It's not working. When you still have this motherfucker on the roster, don't count him out, please. Don't count him out. Golden State Warriors still going to be a top 4 team in the West. Just don't doubt about it, please. Next, we got the Detroit Pistons. They can piss in a bucket for all they can because they're not going to be doing dog shit this season. They might be the worst team in the Eastern Conference this season. Yeah, dude. The roster, I can't name you really more than 5 players. Cade Cunningham, of course. Killian Hayes, who's been just somebody. Marvin Bagley, Bogdanovich, Isaiah Stewart, and James Wiseman. Oh, okay, 5. Oh, and Jaden Ivey. Okay, 6. Okay. Jalen Durham. The rest, I don't know. Oh, Alec Burks. I know Alec Burks. Yeah, this team's not going to be good. Who am I kidding? Yeah, no. Next, we got the Sacramento Kings. Oh, I want to put them in the top 4. I want to put them in the top 4 in the West. So I'm gonna have to take one of these teams out, huh? Or I will take the. You know what? I'm gonna put the Pelicans in play in, and then put the Kings here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, the Kings are going to be a 5 to 8 team in the West. Yeah, they should be. They should be. Looking at their roster, of course, where are the Kings? Where are the Kings? Where are the Kings? Right here. Um, Harrison Barnes, DeAndre Fox, JaVale McGee, Devontae Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Malik Monk. They have some really good guys. They have some fucking dogs, man. They have some fucking ballers here. So yeah, they can, they can pick a push, of course. The Kings can do another push, make the playoffs again if they want to. Again, we'll see what happens. Next, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to be a five, top five team in the East, but they're not going to be in the top four. So they're going to be the fifth best team, pretty much. Cavaliers. This team is low key a team that I'm going to have to watch more basketball of, more games. This Cavaliers team looks fun to watch with Darius Garland, Caris LeVert, Donovan Mitchell, of course, who had a pretty good game a couple days ago. Evan and Isaiah Mobley, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, Tristan Thompson still with the goddamn Cavaliers. They just got Max Strus from the Miami Heat. Darius Garland, of course, Emoni Bates. He looks promising. This Cavaliers team is going to look pretty good. So I'm expecting the most for the Cavs. Next, you got the Boston Celtics. Yep, they're going to be a top 2 team in the West, in the East, excuse me. So yeah, let me put them here probably. Let me just kind of switch them around here. Yeah, dude. I hate to say it, man, but Boston, they're the Celtics. They're not going to be terrible. Yay. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Jrue Holiday, Al Horford, Kristaps. This team is unstoppable. Unless we have to play them unless the Miami Heat has to play them in the playoffs, and we'll eliminate them, but we'll see. 76ers, they should also be a top 4 team in the East, but then lose in the second round. Doesn't matter. I don't even want to look at the roster. This team always fucking disappoints me. Joel Embiid, whatever, you're good. You're great, I guess. Tyrese Maxey's pretty good. I'll give him that. There's good players on the team, but they just, whatever. Good regular season team, choke in the playoffs. Classic Sixers. I don't have much to expect from them. Hornets, no playoffs. They're too young. They don't got many guys there. LaMelo Ball, not much to expect there. The Wizards, same situation as the Hornets. Just not much to expect there. Orlando Magic could low-key make a push for the play-in tournament. I'm kidding. They're not making the playoffs. Fuck that. The Miami Heat, they're going to be a top 6, top 7 team in the East. They're probably going to have a mediocre regular season, but they might show out in the playoffs, kind of like what they've been doing the past couple years. So, yeah, they might just do the same thing. Hawks, again, is also going to be in the 5 to 8. And the Pacers, will they be the last team in the East to make it through? Yeah, I guess I'll get the Pacers. Yeah, I get the Pacers there. So yeah, the Bucks number 1, Celtics number 2, Knicks number 3, Sixers number 4, Cavs 6, 7, 8. Okay, then the Nuggets number 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll put the Kings at 5. Then I'll put the Clippers at 6, and then I'll put the Clippers 6. And I'll put the Nuggets, not the Nuggets, the Timberwolves like. Yeah, Grizzlies 8 seed sounds fine to me. Then the play-in tournament, what's going to be 3 East teams. So the Nets, Raptors, Bulls, Raptors, Bulls, and then I mean it will have to be like 2 teams. It have to be like 2 teams from each conference, right? It has to be 2 teams from each conference because then 2 of them have to go into the. I guess I'll take the Raptors out and the Nets out. Actually no. I'll fucking leave it there, man. Play in contention. I'll just leave it like that. Whatever happens there. So yeah, these are my top 4, top 5, top 8, top total teams from best to worst. Wait, let me do records. Fuck it. In the play-in tournament, Don't know what's wrong with my body. Anyways, next we got 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay. 17th best team will probably be like, let's say the Mavericks, then let's say the Bulls, then let's say the Raptors, then the Nets, then let's do the Pelicans. And then Jazz. Rockets are going to be like one of the worst teams. Pistons are going to be one of the worst teams. Magic is going to be down there. Spurs are going to be down there as well. The Wizards, I think, are going to be better than the Hornets, actually. Spurs. Yeah, I think this is it. Yep, I think the worst team is going to be the Houston Rockets. The best team is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks in the East, and then the best team in the West is going to be the Nuggets. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Download image. Yeah, let's just do that. Yep, download image. There we go. So yeah, those are my NBA picks for the season. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in a bit. Take care. Peace out.